I don't think it's going to fit in this one. Mm-hmm. When we bring back jobs, I want to talk about the 2 times that I got fired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? I mean, why have we not hit that yet? Yeah,
because
next time.
One time I called somebody a fucking douchebag and was surprised at his response is, "Get out, you're fired." Which was weird.
I mean, that seems
My
rash.
response, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, that's something a fucking douchebag would do, isn't it?
See, you are a fucking douchebag.
Douchebag confirmed.
Yeah. Douchebag level 10.
I love the idea that sounded like an elevator might tell you. Douchebag, level 10, you've reached douchebags, assholes.
Mind the douchebags, please. Mind the douchebags.
Welcome to Bitter Coffey, a comedy podcast from 2 friends who are just about over it. I'm Darek Fenton.
And I'm Kelly Coffey.
Good evening, Kelly.
Good evening, Darek.
And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Bitter Coffey. We're well into double digits now, and by well, I mean 1. It's episode 11. We appreciate you all listening. If I'm a little down key, it's just because I'm so full of pizza.
Makes 2 of us.
Cheese and pizza. Delicious Costco pizza dinner this evening. Which is, the highest class pizza dinner one can have.
It's a very high gluten count.
Oh,
That's
boy,
what I was going for.
Excuse me, could you direct me to your highest gluten pizza, please?
Where's the gluten aisle?
I'm looking for the glutenfuls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those for me?
And we found them.
We did. It was a very cheesy pizza.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too.
Oh, God. Well, it's a Costco pizza.
It's a Costco
so there's going to be a lot of it. Yeah. I was always amazed by how incredible things at Costco are in terms of quantity. But I thought, growing up, when they put the Costco in here, I thought that was the only bulk store that existed.
In my mind, it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, really it is.
Sure.
But going to school in New Hampshire, I remember they had, and I didn't know how to take this as a college kid, and I think everybody understands how I did take it as a college kid, was that the store's name is BJ's Wholesale. And of course, no one calls it BJ's Wholesale.
Nope.
People just call it BJ's. And so I remember actually asking someone, do you have a wholesale place? Because I was stocking up for the year. And I was like, do you have a wholesale place around here like a Costco? And they were like, oh, you mean like BJ's? I was like,
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Is this a trap? Is this one of those freshman traps?
Yep.
Where you don't know what to say about BJ's?
I worked with someone. It was my first, I want to say it was my first week working at this particular office. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of temping when I lived in New York.
Yeah.
So I was temping at this new office, and for some reason over lunch one day, we were talking about wholesale stores. Okay. And somebody had mentioned, there's more than one in the New York, New Jersey area.
Oh, right. And they have everything.
So they named one, and then somebody said, oh, how about BJ's Wholesale? And then my friend Kate said, oh, I love BJ's. And that was exactly my response. And then my boss said, you're going to fit in just fine.
You get us and we get you.
Exactly. But still, I mean, here I am. I'm half a century old, and I can't hear the name of the store BJ's and just not start laughing.
I mean, doesn't that mean you've officially died on the inside?
I think so.
If someone says BJ's to you and you don't at least internally smile, just stop. Just give up. It's over.
Yep.
There's
you
no
have
point
no
going
soul.
on. Yeah, you've lost it.
There will be people that think that it's not funny, and I don't really want to be around those people.
Yeah. I mean, subscribe to the podcast, but don't call us.
Right.
Don't add us, if you would.
Oh, and I'm glad you brought up the calling option, which isn't working.
Yeah, you may have noticed that last episode wasn't a call-in episode.
There seems to be a rather significant hitch in our get-along.
Indeed, as the kids say.
Yeah, as the youngsters say.
As the youngsters are known to say.
So I don't really know how... I don't know how to remedy that. Yeah, I don't know if it can be fixed.
We worked on some things. We tried many options, but it seems that there might be a combination of issues between inputs and outputs on the mixer and this device, as well as a grounding issue with the power. There are a lot of things in flux. The fact that we get to record this and it sounds halfway decent every other week, to me, is a miracle. The idea that we're going to plug that in and then a phone and then that's all going to work, I'm not shocked that we can't get it to work. I am sorry, though, because I think that would be a really cool thing for us to be able to do. We're not giving up. I want to make it clear. We're not giving up just yet. I think there's some things that we can try. But yeah, all you audio engineers out there, if you want to give us a hand, go ahead and shoot us an email.
That would be wonderful.
bittercoffeepod@gmail.com. But until then, no call in. We'll try to get it to happen because it would be fun to have people call in and chat with us. But speaking of people talking to us, we do have some iTunes reviews.
We do.
And thank you for folks who have left reviews there. That's super, super helpful and very, very nice of you. Every moment is precious, so the fact that you're able to go over there and leave us a review is very much appreciated. If you haven't done that, we'd love you to. And we will try and read them out on the show because that's fun for us.
I'm just going to say now that if I'm clearing my throat a lot tonight, it's because I had a small piece of chocolate.
How dare you? How dare you?
And it's doing weird things to my throat. Anyway.
We already talked about BJ's. Get over it.
So...
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. What was that?
Don't do that.
What was that?
That was the damn update.
Wow.
Why you got to play through the speakers update? Terrible.
It's very celebratory, though.
Congratulations.
It was like right before I started reading the review. That's what we should...
That was the fanfare for the review?
That should be the noise.
Fuck it, I'll leave it in.
Okay, so this first review comes from TM Coast, and they write... Such a fun podcast. Fun podcast full of amusing banter between two friends. Thanks.
Short, to the point.
I love it.
Accurate.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
And then this one, written on Monday by Fat Al NYC.
What up, Fat Al?
He writes, the best. I love this podcast. Two friends chatting about great stuff, not the news, mostly. Not politics, mostly.
Mostly.
Just smart, fun people talking about, well, whatever they feel like. If you're looking for a breath of fresh Vermont air in the morass of caterwauling podcasts out there, you found it. Keep up the good work.
The morass of caterwauling podcasts.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know.
Delicious.
I want that tattooed somewhere on my body. I don't know where, or maybe, I don't know, spray painted on the side of my house.
I want a hat.
Written in the sky.
If you're looking for a breath of fresh Vermont air in the morass of caterwauling podcasts out there, you found it. It's like poetic, beautiful.
Boom.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Fat Al.
Thank you so much for the reviews. We really appreciate that. That's awesome. And of course, you can review us over on iTunes. We'd love it.
Yeah. I wanted to give a couple shout outs too.
Shout outs. We had shout outs as well as reviews.
We did. We're doing reviews. We're doing shout outs. We're very busy tonight on the show.
A lot of things to check off.
Last week's question regarding how do you get somebody to leave your house if you want them to leave and you're an introvert. That question came from my friend Joy.
Hey,
and I did not give
Joy.
her credit for the question when I read the question
and
because
she deserves it. It was a good question.
I was excited to read the question. I totally forgot. And also one of our subscribers that I did not thank several weeks ago. Her name is Ike. Ike, thank you so much for subscribing.
Thank you, Ike.
I am hopeful you're enjoying your mug.
Nice.
Thanks for listening. We absolutely appreciate it.
It's great. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. So, to time stamp this particular podcast recording, we are recording right before Super Bowl weekend. Who's excited? Not us.
Not me.
So, I am a super casual football fan. I am a Boston sports fan. I obviously follow the Celtics. If the Red Sox are doing well, I'm into it. If the Patriots are doing well, great. Bruins, fantastic. But I'm not somebody who's going to get pumped up for the Super Bowl. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, it's not your jam.
It's not my jam. My jam is basketball, maybe some golf, but ultimately it's not
You
football.
want to get excited. Let's get excited about golf.
If you can't get excited about, the 18th at Torrey Pines, I'm not interested in chatting with you. No one knows what that means. No one who listens to this podcast watches golf. It's fine. It's fine.
You know who watches a lot of golf and plays a lot of golf? My uncle.
Yeah?
He's like this golf fanatic. So
Well, there's always one. There's always somebody, and if there's a group of 10 people, there's usually one golf. And golf fans tend to not be, there's no casual golf fans.
No.
You either love it with your whole heart, or you could not be less interested in watching golf.
No, he gets super pumped for matches on TV.
Matches.
So if you ever find yourself, are they called matches? Are they tournaments? Are they games? What are they?
It's a tournament, but you can call it a match. Okay. It's fine. It's like,
Well, if you ever find yourself in New Jersey and you want someone to play golf with,
I'll look
call
him up.
me and I'll give you Uncle Lee's phone number.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out Uncle Lee.
Yeah.
Shout out Uncle Lee. I'm interested
Hi,
in who
Uncle
you're rooting
Lee.
for.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think he likes Tiger, but we can talk about it another time. I can't
that's a whole
confirm
other.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a whole other can of
show.
wax.
Yep.
Ball of worms.
Can of balls.
Yep. Whole other can of balls. But yeah, the Super Bowl's happening. A lot of people are really excited. I watch the commercials like other people who don't like football. I'm into
Same.
that. I feel like it hasn't been as exciting in the last few years. I think that TV advertising is one of those things that is sort of really struggling to figure out what it should be doing these days, but it's still entertaining to watch the commercials. I would say, though, that the best Super Bowl watching experience I may have ever had was in college. I had a roommate in the dorm who won a drawing from this local barbecue place for a Super Bowl party. And so he'd gone in, you throw a business card or throw your name or whatever into this thing, and then they picked one winner the weekend of the Super Bowl to do this catered Super Bowl party with like all kinds of fixins, and they had like a radio station there, and it was all kinds of cool stuff.
The radio station was there?
And it was like this whole thing, like they were going to come throw you a Super Bowl party.
Oh my God.
But of course,
make requests.
Oh man, I will say, spoiler alert, it was great. However, we all lived in the substance-free dorm, and I don't want to stereotype, but there weren't a ton of like hardcore sports fans. And that included the person who won this drawing. No, neither he nor any of the people he might invite to a party had any interest in football.
Oh, I love it.
Didn't know a thing.
That's a party I want to go to.
Didn't know the rules of the game. And
Love
it was so much fun because, of course, the people throwing the party for us want to be all about the football game.
Oh, yeah.
They want it to be like, they're doing on-air spots and asking people who they think are going to win. And I'm sure, they didn't get like a who is this party for rundown before coming. So I'm sure that they had all these things planned about like, we're going to talk to them about this and that and this storyline of the game and all these people who are playing. No one at this party had any idea. Like, if you had asked most people, who are the teams? No one had any idea.
You would assume it's sports fans who are entering this raffle.
Right, you would think. But it was just like, a free catered meal from this restaurant? I will take it. For like me
barbecue.
and 20 of my friends, I'm all about it.
Wow.
And so it's like, it's a bunch of people who were like, wait, which team are we rooting for? Are they in the black pennies or the white pennies? Like that's the question they're going to ask. Shout out to my wife who initially called the jerseys for the Celtics the green pennies, and I just love her so much. She's adorable in so many ways. So it was a great party. We had a fantastic time, but really all we did was just silently eat food and then vote on the commercials. And specifically the ones that were bad. Like the ones that missed the mark. Like we really wanted to point out to each other, like, if you felt like that commercial could have been better, we made this rule very early on that like everyone's eating constantly, so we didn't want to have to talk. You just raised your hand. If you thought that commercial sucked or you thought that commercial could have been better, you just raised your hand. And it just sort of happened naturally. Like somebody was going to say something about the fact that that commercial was no good, but they were eating, so their hand went up. And then the people around them were like, oh, is that what we're doing? We're raising our hands if the commercial's terrible? Okay, me too. And it just sort of organically happened. And so the whole night was literally like during the game, people talking, having food, conversing. Then the commercials would come on and get real quiet.
Yep.
And then everybody's just watching and eating. And then the commercial would end. We'd all sort of look around. And then we'd either raise our hands or we'd just kind of nod silently. Like, yeah, that was a good one. This
is the kind of party I want to attend.
These are my people.
All the time.
I knew very few of them, but I was like, these are my people. I could get behind
And what were the people doing? Like the radio station
hosts
people.
And stuff, they were
Were they like,
out.
let's get excited?
So this was early
whatever.
on, and this is me in college, so it was before 2003, and so that people had cell phones, especially like music people, like people at a radio show probably had cell phones, but like they weren't as prevalent.
Right.
So it's not like everybody had a cell phone out calling someone to say this sucks, what do we do? But if they could, they would have been.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there was a palpable panic amongst the hosts who just had no idea what to do in a situation where they're throwing a Super Bowl party and no one here cares about the Super Bowl. If they could have taken it back, if they could have done take backsies with that whole situation, they would have immediately.
I bet you now there's a questionnaire that needs to be filled out prior to entering the raffle.
Are you interested in a free meal? Yes.
Yes.
Have you watched a football game?
No.
No.
How
All right.
likely are you to root for a specific team?
If we
likely, not likely.
If we said which teams are playing in the Super Bowl, do you think you'd know the answer?
Can you name some teams?
Have you seen a football before? Yeah, that was the level. And so it was, it was enjoyable to me.
I found myself yesterday and today, and I don't watch football. I used to, but I don't anymore. What I do like is when bands are really bad.
Okay.
During the halftime show.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Because I like to critique them. I do love the commercials.
Yeah.
But by about 7 o'clock, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, and then you're getting duplicate commercials as well.
And, the magic is worn off.
Yeah.
But I found myself asking people yesterday and today at work, so what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
Oh.
And people had like specific plans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going here and I'm doing this and I have to bring the buffalo wings. And then I just kept on thinking, why is the Super Bowl kind of attached to this like constant eating thing?
That is a great question.
Is it because you're sitting in front of a television and really not talking? You're just watching the game? I'm asking, not like I have the answer. Like I'm genuinely curious.
So football fans, earmuffs, but it's because football's fucking boring.
Oh, okay.
And so,
yep.
Everybody has probably heard this stat, particularly people who don't watch football, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm probably going to get it a little bit wrong, somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes of a NFL football game is football.
That sounds about right.
And if you've watched a football game, they're on for like 3+ hours.
There's a lot.
But in that 3+ hours, there's like 15 minutes of actual play.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why people are just constantly eating, because you've got to do something, and who can talk to another human for 3 hours? You got to do something else. So you just eat constantly.
I remember when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson did the halftime show.
The infamous Nipplegate.
Exactly. I was living in Montpelier at the time. So I was at a bar and
just automatically, I was in Montpelier, so therefore I was at a bar.
So I was at a bar, and this is like back in the days when I was still like drinking. So I was at a bar, and then during the halftime show, I went to a friend's house to watch the halftime show and just kind of like get a break from like, being in a bar all day.
Yeah.
And I watched the halftime show and I saw it happen.
Yeah.
And then after the halftime show was over, I went back to the bar and I told 2 of my friends who were still at the bar what had happened, and they didn't believe me.
So they weren't watching the halftime show at the bar?
No,
How dare
that
they?
never happened. I'm like, I swear to God it happened. They're like,
fully out.
Yeah. They're like,
fully out.
They're like, I'm calling bullshit. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, it might make the news tomorrow. And then I was questioning my own sanity.
Right.
Like,
Maybe
minute.
I missaw.
Did I make this up myself?
Was it wishful thinking? Did
I don't
hope
know.
That's what had happened?
Something.
In fact, it was not.
So now every year I kind of want something like that to happen. Like, that's what I wait for.
It's always a disappointment when there's no boobs coming out during the halftime
it's just
show.
Coldplay singing.
Well, that's a disappointment all in and of itself. But.
Well, we can get into that at another time.
Send your Coldplay-loving hate mail to bittercoffeepod@gmail.com.
If you could invite 10 people, living or dead, to a Super Bowl party, who would they be?
Let's combine. So we'll each get 5. Okay, we each get 5. We're going to have a 10-person, other than us, Super Bowl, 12-person Super Bowl party.
Okay. You go first.
My wife.
Oh.
See what I did there? You see what I did there? Everybody's surprised, but no, that's a good move.
So then I have to invite my wife.
Listen, I'm just trying to help you, Kelly.
Okay, because
I was trying to help you.
Okay, my wife.
Good, nice, great choice. Okay, so the second person that I would bring to a Super Bowl party, and again, I think we're going towards like people who don't actually like football.
Yes.
And is it okay? So is it anybody living or dead?
Anybody living or dead.
Ooh, nice. Houdini. I need entertainment.
Halftime show.
Yeah.
He could do the halftime show.
Yeah, he does their own personal halftime show.
Yep.
In-house.
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Okay, good. Solid choice.
Why not?
Honest Abe.
He's got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say.
Right? Or he did.
He's going to be psyched about his appearance on the penny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's going to be great for him.
Yep. There's an entire memorial just for you. Have you seen it?
No. What's it called?
The Lincoln Memorial. You're
They're not super creative on the name.
So who's your next person?
All right. So let's see. God, who do you add to Houdini and Abraham Lincoln?
Because now it's and our wives. Now it's a party.
Now it's a party.
And we have the barbecue people there. They're hosting it, right?
Okay. So there's so there's barbecue as well.
Yep.
All right.
Game changer.
Game changer. Well, now I'm thinking about like who is the musical artist that's going to play a full-time concert, and then Houdini's going to do the halftime show, which again I think Lincoln's going to be blown away with.
Yeah.
Ooh, too soon?
Oh.
It's a terrible joke.
Zing.
It's a terrible joke.
Zing.
Eminem. I like spice things up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna spice things up. But like now Eminem, not Eminem when he was like wild and nuts, like dad Eminem.
Okay.
Currently, because I feel like he needs some place to be. Like he could probably stand to have some folks around and hang out and watch the Super Bowl, because he's probably watching that game like by himself. If he's not in it, if he's not in the halftime show, he's probably just hanging out at home. Maybe Dre's there. He's watching the game.
Maybe.
I think he'd be an interesting mix.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg.
Oh, counterpoint. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Different hip hop genre.
Yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
I think that he and Abraham Lincoln would have a lot to say to one another. I want to get involved in that conversation.
And Eminem's just in the corner saying fucking nothing.
Exactly.
The entire time.
Like, I want to walk out of the bathroom, like, kind of just drying off my hands, and I want to see Abraham Lincoln and Eminem, like, in my kitchen having a conversation. Like, no. I know you want to get back to the Houdini halftime show, but I just want to talk to you for, like, 10 minutes. And I don't know who's saying that to the other, but it's happening.
I love it.
So
I want to be a fly on the wall in that conversation,
yeah,
for sure. Okay.
I think we have one more person left. I haven't really been keeping track.
Two more. I've been keeping track. I literally have fingers that I was holding up so that I didn't forget what number we were on. Okay, so we've each had 2 guests plus wife.
Yep.
So we've got 2 more guests left. Boy, this is really becoming an eclectic crew. Stephen King.
Oh.
Yes, Stephen King. I was like, literary person, that was the first person that popped into my head.
Okay.
So he's from Maine, so I think he's got some really specific allegiances to a team. I bet he's a Patriots fan. So it'd be interesting to see what he had to say. He'd bring an interesting kind of vibe to the whole evening. I'm gonna go with that.
Interesting. Man, only 2 people left. What did I get myself into?
You went with 10.
Like, part of me wants, I don't know, like, do I want to invite Jennifer Aniston? Because I think she would just be fun to hang out with. And I think she's a lot more sarcastic than people give her credit for in movies.
Yes.
I think she could be funny.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I might call her, but...
She'd maybe be an alternate, like if somebody so you called somebody they couldn't make it.
Or like if Snoop Dogg was like, hey, can I bring my friend Jennifer? And I'd say, Jennifer who? And he said Aniston. I'd be like, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
that'll give Snoop somebody to hang out with.
That's fine.
So that's good.
Do I want to invite the Obamas?
Ooh, you could do a 2-for.
I could.
And invite both the Obamas.
Yeah, I could. I
like this.
But then
Kelly.
I have to invite the kids.
No,
I wouldn't.
This is
have
your
to.
party.
Yeah.
No, it's a no kids kind of party, like weddings with no kids. So, and you've hit both of yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin. Great story from my mom. Plus, an incredible singer who I think would probably be trying to upstage everyone in substance abuse and performance, which is awesome.
Yeah, even Houdini.
Yeah, even Houdini.
Yeah.
Exactly. And finally, Steve Buscemi.
Really?
Yes, I need somebody who everyone is going to be just that little bit uncomfortable with the fact that they're there and really unsure about how they got there or why they're there. I think that's going to be a good bet. I need somebody to interject with some comedic references here and there. I think Buscemi's the way to go.
And I think our alive to dead guest ratio is pretty healthy.
Yeah, we did okay.
Right?
We did okay. Yeah.
60% alive, 40%
it's a little
dead.
dude heavy. I feel like there were a lot of dudes involved, but that's okay. We spice it up a little bit. It'll be
Jennifer
fine.
Aniston's coming. It's fine.
That's true. She counts as like 3.
She's fine.
Okay. So that's a pretty good pretty good mix.
So if you have your Super Bowl fantasy party list.
We're going to circle back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the hate mail we're going to get about our Super Bowl party. If you have the perfect 10 guests for your Super Bowl party, we want to hear them. And keep in mind, this is a Super Bowl party for people who don't like the Super Bowl.
And we didn't have time to think about it the way you guys do.
Didn't. Yeah, you guys have the luxury of thought. We were just blasting names out there. I'm pretty happy, though.
And you thought Fat Al got mad at me for my Rush choice on my Desert Island Bands? I'm never going to hear the end of Aniston with him. Damn it. Sorry.
I like that party. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. And there's barbecue.
And there... Exactly.
Who the hell doesn't like barbecue? Come on. Okay, so, and here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are the guests coming for the Super Bowl at like 6 o'clock for like, what, a 9:15 kickoff?
Something like that. I think it's 2 o'clock the next morning.
Or are they coming earlier for the Puppy Bowl as well?
Oh,
right?
The Puppy Bowl.
Because does it change the dynamic?
Boy, I think it would.
I think my guess would be okay either way.
I picked
Puppy
some folks
or Super Bowl.
I I like to think that everybody I mentioned would be into the puppy bowl as well.
Yeah.
I want to believe that everybody on I feel like Eminem likes a golden retriever tackling a black lab here and there.
Yeah. But here's the thing I don't like about the puppy bowl.
Okay.
And I sound like a monster for saying that.
Here's the thing
whatever.
I hate
Here's
about
the thing I hate about
puppies.
really cute animals. What I don't like about the puppy bowl is there's like this weird music playing in the background the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is very strange.
And completely unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
Do puppies sound terrible?
I don't think so.
Is it grating to hear puppies?
They should all have bells around their necks, and they should just be like ringing around the playing field. But they don't really follow the rules. It's a group of dogs just running around and over one another, and then somehow they score.
Yeah, the rules
It's a
of
bullshit
the puppy
scoring
bowl
system.
are a
I'm
little
just going to put it out.
nebulous.
Yeah.
Our Super Bowl party would be a lot of fun. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it would.
So honestly, right now, my focus for sporting events is not the Super Bowl. It is something that I have recently discovered that I am evangelizing to every person I talk to, and I encourage everyone out there to look this up on the YouTubes. Have you heard of the MarbleLympics?
I have not.
Okay.
I am in love with this word,
So
though.
not only is it a delicious portmanteau,
I'm going to sit back and just listen to you talk.
but okay, the MarbleLympics are, and there is no way for me to sell this appropriately. There's no way that I'm going to get you to the point where you understand how glorious this is. So please go to YouTube and look up the MarbleLympics, write it down, go back and watch it. It is someone, and I don't know who this person is, who has, I'm assuming, some relationship to some sort of marble situation. He sells marbles, or he sells marble tracks, or he has a shop, or he's just really interested. Maybe he makes marbles. I don't know, and it doesn't matter. The point is, he has set up this YouTube channel that is basically Olympic Games starring teams of marbles. So there are various teams of marbles. There's like 25 teams of marbles, the little balls of glass that you might have played with as a child, that compete in all of these events. And he sets up elaborate events, tracks and runs outside in the dirt and snow. There's all of these events. There's a like underwater event with ramps and things that the marbles have to race down. And it is literally teams of marbles, different colors, different types. They all have names. It's like the Ruby Racers and the Limers and the Cat's Eyes, and they all compete against each other. And there's a series of events. It's just like the Olympics. He does an overvoice during the events where he's like commentating the event as it's happening, like you would hear if you were watching the Olympics. He has set up a crowd to watch the event that's just marbles in the crowd. Do you have one? Did you pull one up for the MarbleLympics?
Curling.
Yep, there's a curling event. Yes.
With the draw complete, it's time now to find out who qualifies for the Winter MarbleLympics.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
It's a 45-minute
It's a
video.
45-minute video.
Their teams at curling, the qualification round that will see competitors try to land as
This is the
This
qualification
is
round.
amazing.
It is not even the actual event. It is the qualification round, and that is a 45-minute video. If you
He put a spoiler alert at the bottom.
well, you got to be careful in the comments.
Yeah.
People are going to comment about
Yeah.
the things that happen in the event. So if you scroll down, you're going to get spoiled.
So it's marbles that are being curled.
Essentially.
Sure.
Yeah. And some of the events translate very well, like curling. Some of them he's taking liberties. You know,
Yeah.
there's a relay event, and it's marbles that go down a track, and then there's a marble that's on the track, and the marble that's rolling hits that one, and it goes a little ways, and then it hits another
That
marble,
makes
and then
sense to
goes
me.
a little ways. He's got, like I said, the kind of luge situation where he goes out in the snow, and he'll carve a really elaborate downhill track for the marbles. The gates are like actually robotically controlled, so like they start all
stop
at the
looking
same
at
time.
this.
It is
nuts.
the rabbit holest of rabbit holes. I sent it to a friend of mine, and I didn't hear back from him for a while, and I thought he's just ignoring me. No, he was just watching Marble Olympic matches.
This is what I'm going to do all weekend long now.
It is spectacular. If you need a moment to take a break from our horrible reality, can I please recommend that you go and check out the MarbleLympics? I can't speak highly enough
That's what
of it.
I'm going to do.
So much fun. So
Holy
forget
cow.
the Super Bowl. Check out the MarbleLympics.
Yeah,
everybody.
seriously.
I love that somebody...
Is there a halftime show?
I haven't seen one, which is
Okay.
kind of cool
Yeah,
because
they're
it's just event. I love that somebody took the time, and it clearly was a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
this, none of this is easy. You will see when you go on. It's elaborate, but I just love that somebody was like, you know what? People will enjoy this. There's no like sale. There's nothing being sold to you.
Right.
It's just fun. It's entertaining. You will find yourself scooped up. I want to hear who the team you're rooting for is.
I want to hear who you would invite to your MarbleLympics party. Because I'm sticking with my same 5 people.
I want the developer of Marble Madness. I feel like he or she would have a lot of great things
Well,
to
they
say.
would host the party.
Exactly.
We get rid of the barbecue people.
Oh,
and
man.
we bring in the marble people.
I'd definitely go to that party and watch that match eagerly.
Do you want to hear a funny story about marbles?
Oh, who doesn't?
I know. Idiots, that's who. Well, it's about one marble. So,
Okay.
Michele got a piece of mail once, and it was junk mail.
Okay.
And am I allowed to say her first and last name on the air? Yeah, because it's not hard to find out who she is. Her name is Michele Pilardi.
Yep.
And the piece of mail came to, and it's just within like the last year I've been able to say this without laughing and being unable to breathe.
Oh, I'm ready.
So her name is Michele Pilardi, but the piece of mail was addressed to Marble Passardi. So you'll see on her Facebook page, in parentheses, it says Marble Passardi. Yeah. So I called her Marble for a long time. And every once in a while, like if she calls and leaves a voicemail, she'll say, hey, it's Marble. Hilarious.
Just Marble calling.
Marble Passardi.
I love it.
It's got a beautiful ring to
It
it.
does have a beautiful ring to
Hi,
it.
you reached the Passardis.
Is this Marble? Can I speak to Marble, please?
Speaking.
Is Marble home? Marble!
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 The marvelous Mrs. Marble.
Wonderful accidental transition once again. Oh, you've just filled your rings? Did you fill your rings on your watch?
As I said that.
Just gesticulating?
Man, it's just pure magic
It's
tonight.
that noise would indicate that it's time to talk about the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, let's
oh
get
my goodness.
into it.
Welcome to Talkin' TV. And I will say, spoiler alert, if you've not watched the show,
Oh my God, stop what you're doing. Stop listening to this
what
podcast.
you're doing. Just pause this, come back to it later. Just go watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But we're probably going to talk about the end because you mentioned in the last episode you wanted to hit on the last couple of episodes and her decisions.
Yeah.
And I had not seen it. I have now watched it. What questions or thoughts do you have? Because I have a lot.
Okay, well, basically, I don't know where season 3 is going to go.
Same.
Because is she leaving everyone?
Exactly.
Is she going back with her husband?
Yep.
And you can't tell by his reaction.
No, you have no idea what he's thinking. She needed to be with someone. She has a boyfriend.
Yes.
Who, for all intents and purposes, is available.
He's a nice guy.
Seems like a nice person.
Super guy.
You know, a little bit of a weirdo, a little standoffish when you first meet him. Seems to have really warmed up to her and vice versa. He's quirky. And I think if she needs somebody quirky, right?
Yeah.
She can't be with, somebody who's straight-laced. Joel's a little too straight-laced. That's kind of the issue.
Yeah.
And so I did not understand it. And as soon as I watched it, I was like, this is what Kelly means.
Yep.
About why
See?
did she do what she did?
Yep.
What happens in season 3? Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm going to watch it, whatever it is.
Oh my God.
I do wonder though, do we need this sort of back and forth relationship thing? Do we need them to not be together and be together? I don't know. And I feel like the boyfriend is probably not going to be super cool about this. And I don't know that I need a bunch of relationship drama in this show. They have a lot of it already.
There's a lot.
I don't know that I need more.
Well, that's how she got into stand-up.
Exactly.
It's because her marriage fell apart.
And it was a great story.
That's going to be that thread throughout each season.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's plenty. It'll be plenty for her to talk about. Yeah. And I'm sure she will in her routines. Again, if you haven't watched the show and you're still listening to this, 1, stop. Go watch the show. 2, it's about a woman who decides to do stand-up comedy and her whole family and everyone around her thinks it's crazy, basically because she tells great stories. It is everything that I think I would love in my own life in terms of oh, this thing happened to me. I told a story about it. And then somebody was like, we'd like to pay you to continue to tell stories like that. That seems like an ideal situation.
Wait, there's an idea.
Yeah. Hey, Polar. I don't know if you heard our episode recently.
I know that you liked our post on Instagram.
You liked our post on Instagram. So we're still waiting on that sponsorship
if you wanna,
call.
come along for the ride.
BitterCoffeePod@gmail.com.
Follow us back.
But yeah, it's It's a great show.
2 favorite scenes.
Okay.
When her manager, whose name escapes me, if only there were a way that we could look things up quickly.
If only there was a device nearby that I could tap a couple of times, and then it would tell me what her manager's name is.
I could just talk really slowly.
No, I don't think that's even necessary, because the internet is a wonderful place.
You're right.
In which we can find everything. Susie. Her manager, Susie. Played by the incredible Alex Bornstein. She's so funny.
She's kind of a genius.
Yeah.
So Susie is stoned in the bathtub.
Yes.
God,
yes.
The apartment.
In her parents' apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
in Midge's parents' place where she stays.
And then she says, don't go anywhere. And Susie says, in a bubble bath, where the fuck am I going to go? Hilarious. And then the other scene I really love is when they break their fast.
Yeah.
And she's talking about her child getting bullied in the playground. Mm-hmm. And the mom says, what playground is this? There are these really subtle things that I just love about the show. I love the show, but it's little things like that that just they
those
stay
moments
with me.
of people missing the point. And
Hilarious.
like glomming onto the thing that is not the point of the conversation, or like being distracted by something else.
The subtleties of that show absolutely kill me.
And it's just full of incredible people. Tony Shalhoub is, of course, amazing in it. I don't know. It's just fantastic. It's really well painted. It's really well put together. Obviously people like it, and it's gotten rave reviews, and it's won all the awards. Ton of awards.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I saw a bunch of things online about how the second season wasn't as good, and I
That's a lie.
Disagree.
That is a lie.
I think the second season was way better.
You know who wrote that article? Who wrote that review?
Liars?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's who.
Gotta be careful. They're everywhere online these days, writing stuff constantly.
Fake news.
So check out The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You won't regret it. It's on Netflix, right?
Hulu.
Damn it.
No, Amazon.
That's
on
why.
Amazon.
That's why I was like, that's not right. Hulu's not right. Netflix also not right.
We just lost our Amazon sponsorship.
Damn
God
it.
damn it.
It's out the window now.
And somebody had just recently tried to get me to watch Bird Box. You know what? I have no interest in that kind of show.
I've seen the memes. What's the point?
So it's people that are blindfolded and they can't talk and they can't see and they have to stay awake. What the hell? What kind of show is that?
Torture show are you watching?
If somebody's going to put a blindfold on me and ask me to be quiet, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to sleep it off. I'm going to sleep through it, and then John Malkovich is going to come in, may or may not save the day in this cabin that I'm in with strangers. I don't even know.
No, I'm not interested. No.
So I think the next show I'm going to pick up is Schitt's Creek. Everybody's talking about Schitt's Creek.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things.
I feel kind of forced into it because everybody's like, oh, what do you mean you haven't watched it?
And now, what's that on? Because the thing about The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is because it's on Amazon. What's funny is that I don't think I know a single person who doesn't have Amazon Prime.
You're right.
So many people have no idea that you can watch shows because you have Amazon Prime.
What?
Amazon has not done a great job of promoting their streaming service. When you hear about streaming services, people think Hulu, Netflix. End of list.
I guess,
people forget that you have Prime, you can stream shows. So if you want to watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, it's on Amazon. Go ahead and watch it. You probably have a Prime
People
subscription.
don't know that?
Either they don't know. It's not so much that they don't know it, but most people have Netflix or Hulu maybe.
Right.
And they feel like, oh, it's going to be all the same things. There are some good Amazon originals. And that's really, I think, where the industry is headed anyway. All the original stuff. Obviously Stranger Things was huge. And
that's coming back.
That's going to be back soon. Yeah. Very excited for season 3 of that. But
and by soon, we mean July.
Well, that's
I
soon.
think it's 4th of July weekend.
Year, it'll be back.
So I have my 4th of July weekend all planned out.
Fully booked.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, God. And the shows, they come
Can't
out
go to your stupid fireworks.
all at once. Got my own spectacular right here. Stranger Things season 3. So yeah, watch the show. You'll love it. Tell us all about your love for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So we have been talking for a long time. We've hit a lot of things tonight.
We did.
But there's one last thing that I want to make sure I mention.
How long have we been talking?
Literally, so I think we started recording somewhere at the 12-minute mark or something. Let me go take a quick look again under the table at the horrible laptop to see where we're at.
High tech.
We just hit an hour.
Oh my God.
So we've been talking for 50 minutes-ish. Again, if you're looking at your readout and it's saying, boy, this is a much shorter podcast than that. Well, that's because I had to cut a lot of it out. But who knows?
Probably half that puppy bowl stuff.
Who knows? Went on and on about the puppy bowl. But so I found something online. I will post it on the Bitter Coffey Twitter account for sure. Go check us out, Bitter Coffee Pod on Twitter. I have found my new favorite way to leave a room.
Oh.
And it has happened thanks to Twitter, which is not a surprise that Twitter has given me the gift of a wonderful send-off.
Twitter is a very peaceful place to go.
It really is. It's very calm.
I laugh laugh.
Nothing but level heads and wonderful inspiration on Twitter.
Open-mindedness, just a exchange of thoughts and ideas and opinions. There's
freely
respect.
And respectfully.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
But in that sea of sarcasm.
Go to Twitter right after you watch Bird Box.
In that sea of sarcasm, I did find something. So Rich Neville, I don't know who Rich Neville is. Somebody retweeted this or liked it, and I happen to see it on my feed.
He's one of the Neville brothers.
Okay, good to know. The lesser known Neville brother, Rich.
Yep.
Great. I'm sure his voice is as well. So Rich Neville on Twitter at Rich Neville, RICHNEVILLE, said, "Found something new to say when I leave a room." And it's a picture of, I'm assuming, some kind of like zip top bag or something. And it just says, "Stay fresh, cheese bags." And so it's small words, stay fresh, big words, cheese bags. So it is meant to be said, stay fresh, cheese bags. So guess what, everybody? Somebody found a new podcast sign off.
So this is how I'm going to end every phone call.
Yes.
Like, say I go on a job interview.
Yeah. In particular.
Right? Do I close with that when I'm doing the handshake or when I write my thank you note follow-up? Stay fresh, cheese bags.
I think it's plural, so it needs to be multiple people, so it's got to be the sign-off.
No, it can even be one person.
Okay. Maybe it's better
Doesn't matter. Way. Like you and your whole tribe. Doesn't matter.
Stay fresh, cheese
I'm
bags.
I'm throwing it out there for everybody.
So
I have God, I can't wait to use that.
One of the YouTubers and podcasters that I listen to, actually, John Green, also an author, but I know him from his other work. He told a story about accidentally leaving a business phone call with best wishes, like inadvertently. Like he was having a phone call with like a whole bunch of business people, big, like literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars deal about a book or something like that. Right. And then as he was hanging up the phone, he just went, "Best wishes," and hung up.
And hung up the phone.
He was like, "Best wishes? What the hell? Why would I say that?" And so since then, I've been saying best wishes.
That's awesome.
And Hannah and I have taken it to be when we actually hate a conversation we're having and we're really happy it's over, or we wish the person would stop talking to us. We're just like, yeah, best wishes.
Best wishes.
And there's a silent fucking in the middle there. Best fucking wishes.
I like
That's
that.
what happens. And so if I know that if Hannah is signing an email, if she forwards me something and she has signed it best wishes, I'm like, that wasn't a positive conversation, was it? Guess what? Maybe now replaced with stay fresh cheese bags.
That's awesome. Wow.
So if you hear me leave a room anytime soon, you might hear me leave it. Hey, stay fresh, cheese bags.
I'm trying to figure out which one of us is going to scream it at the other one tonight.
Tonight when I head out?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with both.
Yeah. I'm probably going to yell it from the front door, like as you're getting in your car. I can't wait. I'm already excited
about it. Oh my goodness. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to hit on tonight,
No,
Kelly?
I think we covered entirely too many topics.
This is generally the case.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to Bitter Coffey. You can find Kelly on Twitter at Fonzie Traeger. You can find me at Mobydiculous on Twitter as well. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening from. Again, we'd love to read more of those. If you have questions, random or otherwise, leave.
It's like Abraham Lincoln vibe.
Oh my God, Lincoln, is that you? If you have questions,
I'm here for the puppy bowl.
Have you seen my face on the penny?
Has Snoop Dogg arrived yet?
Tell him Link Sizzle's here.
I like how Abraham Lincoln sounds like Sean Connery.
It is a little Connery, isn't it?
It is. Very
I feel like
much
they'd be.
so.
I feel like they'd be friends.
They'd be really good friends.
Yeah, I just get a vibe.
Maybe Jennifer Aniston's out and Sean Connery's in. There you go.
I was gonna invite Aniston, but
no,
Lincoln's gonna be there, and
Yeah.
I feel like he'd really enjoy hanging out with Connery.
Sorry, Jen.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
You get
Maybe
to hang out with
for
Snoop.
the World
it's fine.
Series. Another exciting game.
Renowned baseball fan Jennifer
Jesus.
Aniston. So Yeah, if you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover, hit us up at bittercoffeepod@gmail.com. Reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our co-producer and repair prevention specialist tonight has been Michele Pilardi. Our intro and outro music is Hold Me Down by John Worthy and the Bends. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Best wishes. You know what I do every single Thursday morning?
Oh, what?
I wake up, because you usually send me...
Yes.
It's well after 9 p.m., so you send this to
So
me in
you've
the
been
middle
asleep.
of the night. I've been
Middle
asleep
of the damn night.
Several hours.
Yeah.
I wake Michele up at about 4:30, because you can see when I've already listened to it when I respond and say,
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's like 6 a.m.
Yeah, I've noticed the timestamp on the emails
I
is
will
always
make
like, it's a great
coffee.
episode,
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Done. I'll wake up Michele at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
But I'll do the feeding the dogs.
You don't need to get up. I just have some things I got to take care of.
No,
so
it's fine.
You keep sleeping.
I'm just pouring some water.
I'm going to make my smoothie as normal.
Yep. I'm just checking the smoke detectors. It's fine. Yeah.
Checking all the different ringtones on my phone, looking for a new one. Hope that's okay.
Is that cool with you? I mean, it's pretty low, but... Oh, no. Is that your phone? You should check.
Oops, I hit up instead of down. It's real loud now.
But then I'll bring her coffee, as I do every morning, in her Bitter Coffee coffee mug.
Because
so
you
then
care
she
about
can't
her.
And then she can't get mad.
I see.
You know what I mean?
But it's in the podcast
Look, there's
mug.
branding. See?